Hello, doll friends. In today's episode, we're back with 2 Barbie dolls that I used in my wig tutorial, but this time we're going to be getting into flocking and a little rerouting chaos. First up is the Advent Calendar doll, who gets a lip repaint and her very first flocking makeover, my first practice doll. Riding the high from that mini success, I take on the second doll, a basic Millie, and give her a bold pink mohawk by rooting the hair down the center and flocking the sides. Hello, my name is Amy, and this is Amy Plays with Dolls. Welcome to my channel. The process for flocking is actually pretty simple. First, you need to paint the doll's head in the color that matches the flocking or hair fiber that you intend to use. You want to make sure you paint over the entire hairline and keep the edges smooth and clean. If you mess up a little, no stress. Just let it dry and you can clean up the lines a bit with a paint remover after the fact. You want to wait until after the paint has completely dried, and then it's time to add the flocking. I'm using matte Mod Podge and applying a generous layer. You want it thick on there and somewhat even. Think of frosting a cake. Once I get the head covered with a thick layer, I recommend working in sections. You can add the flocking. The flocking's pretty tightly packed into the container, and you sprinkle the flocking evenly over the doll head. I got this flocking from AliExpress, and it turns out it's a perfect match for the hair that I'll be using later on the Millie doll. It's laying out on the desk, as is the Millie's head. This first doll is getting a full head of flocking, so after coating her head, I gently tap off the excess over a dish so I can reuse it. Once she's fully covered, I let it dry and repeat the process with a second layer. Usually 2 coats are all you need, but you flock to the extent that you're satisfied that it's covered and looks nice. When I'm all done with the flocking, I end up painting her lips off camera and then pop her back into her original outfit, but we're not done yet. My daughter had the idea to give her some piercings, so I used a little Elmer's glue and some tiny resin flat back embellishments. The best part, if you change your mind, they're easy to pop off with your fingernail and rinse clean. Not permanent, no damage was done to your doll. One of the identical dresses I had from the Barbie Basics line, I chopped it up and turned it into a brand new custom outfit. I've been having so much fun with these dolls lately, I wasn't even scared to cut into it. Stick around to the end to see that finished look. I almost forgot to add that I used an unbent paper clip to make an indentation in the center while everything was still wet to create a part line for her. I think that works pretty good. What do you think? I think also if I used some matte powder and darkened the root area a little bit, that might help. I might have some more practicing and testing to do on this doll. What do you think? I didn't think her lip color was flattering with her new hair color, so I thought I would repaint her lips. I'll be painting the entire area red and then going back in with the unbent paper clip and some white paint and very carefully adding the teeth back in afterward. I thought this would be the best way to get nice coverage on the lips without worrying about covering up the teeth. Here's a quick look at her after I've done the piercings and added the teeth back in. She's in her original outfit. I think she came out good. Not bad for a practice doll. I think the piercings were a bit big, but my daughter assured me that they look right. I thought it would be fun to give her some painted nails that match her lipstick. This is something I've been doing on all the dolls that I customize after I gave it a try the first time. It's pretty easy. I'm using, again, a paper clip or a toothpick would work well to dab on a tiny dot of paint on the tip of the fingernails. Also, if you make a mistake, let the paint dry first and you can scrape it back with your thumbnail if you just get a little bit too much. or it's too close together, wait to let it dry before trying to correct it, and then just use your fingernail to scrape it off. Painting the fingernails was so much easier and more fun than I thought, and it gives that great custom look to your doll. Her lips look a little bit messier than they are due to the way the shine is catching the light. And here's her fingernails. Wait for the end to see her in the chopped up outfit. Let's move on to Millie. Next up are Plain Jane Millie, who won't be plain for long. She's about to become Modern Millie, aka Pink Punk Millie. I already prepped and painted her head with the same pink shade that I'll be using for her mohawk, the flocking, and that I used on the first doll. Before I do any flocking though, we start with the hair. I like to start rooting the hair at the back of the head, and I root the part line all the way from the front of the head to the back. Her original part line only goes about halfway down the length of the head, so I'm creating my own holes as I'm rooting the rest of the part line. I decided to make the hairstyle 5 to 6 plugs wide at the front and the back of the hairline at the beginning and the end of the part line that I created. I'm grabbing the hair into locks that are pretty thick and end up breaking my needle and regretting overfilling with hair. Let's get a new needle and continue on. Well, it looks like I started at the front of the part line, which makes sense since there's actually holes there to start the part line there. And then I recall that I went down to the back and punched a couple plugs in and then worked filling in the area between where the part line ended naturally with the pre-drilled holes and where I was. At this point, I've finished rooting all of the hair in. And just like with the first doll, I'm giving a generous layer of Mod Podge. I'm working in sections, trying to get it on thick and evenly. I did realize later that coating the hair in all of the washi tape was totally unnecessary. You live and you learn. This is a practice project before I dive into working on one of my You Create Barbie Basics dolls. I'd like to do some flocking or some fun hairstyles on those, and I didn't want to risk having anything go wrong. Since I'd already shaved these 2 dolls that were just in my parts box for projects, they were perfect for this. Maybe this project came out a little too good. I almost regret doing this super fun hairstyle on just a basic Millie, even though she's modern punk Millie now. I think I may repeat this hairstyle on a doll with a more interesting face later. When she's all done, I know exactly what outfit she needs. It's just arrived from AliExpress, and even though I originally planned to use it in an upcoming You Create fashion show video, it was way too perfect for her. I'll pop it up on screen in case you want to grab one for your own dolls. My college-age daughter said she thought the look reminded her of a modern prom outfit with a punk twist, so now she's officially named Pink Punk Prom Barbie. You can clean off the edges with a damp paintbrush. I recommend waiting until the design is fully dry. I hope you had fun watching these transformations. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Hey, even if you didn't, give it a thumbs up anyways. I'd sure appreciate it. I had a great time experimenting, trying out new techniques, and Millie's new look might be one of my faves yet. I can't wait to try a similar style on one of my more unique dolls soon. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to leave a comment and let me know what you think. If you comment below, I 100% will answer you back. If you leave me a long comment, I will probably give you a long reply. And even if you don't, I may still give you a long reply. Thanks again for watching, and please have a wonderful day.